Welcome back to Unleashing. I've been trying to make a video for a little bit and just been slammed, but I should have a little bit of free time right now and wanted to make one. And I got my calling card. Somebody wrote some crap in the comment section, and I always get that right before I'm about to make a video. Satan does like one last attempt to try and stop me from putting something else out. So I try to force myself to do it when something like that happens. Doesn't always work. Sometimes I'm just like, out of hell with it all. But I got it today. Anyways, I want to talk about all the current events and stuff that are taking place right now. Just everything. I wanted to go over it. It kind of builds up, you know. Last video I did, I was talking about Trump getting in, how it was a major win. You know, it just feels great. The mood has changed and everything else like that, you know. But I've also said, what am I doing? I'm still continuing to prep and everything like that. I'm still preparing because I know that it's coming. I know we're in the end times, and there's not that much time left, right? And if any hard times, surprises or come or anything like that, I want to be ready. I want to be ready so that I can be most effective as I can, right? I know that if there's any sort of window where people are scared and stuff like that, they're a lot more apt to listen to, you know, the gospel. And if that's what it takes, you know, then I want to be ready to use that opportunity to help some more people if I can along the way. So anyways, but I just wanted to go over everything. I wrote down a little list here on a piece of paper, so I didn't forget too much. Kind of builds up over the week, you know, or the few weeks, and so I don't completely forget on something I wanted to go over. First one is these meta stations. I did do a delivery. It was some weeks back, and it was a pain in the butt, but they're building these meta stations, right, for Mark Zuckerberg. They're going up all over the place. There's data centers, right, and it's supposed to be for so you can go into the metaverse and have all this fun and nonsense, right? Like the movie or the TV, or yeah, I guess it was the movie, Ready Player One, right? And they're thinking it's going to be a big deal. I want to say right now that is an absolute front. All right, these meta centers that they're making for that is not going to be so that people can plug in like that. They're either going to be for controlling huge battalions, squadrons of drones in the future to go after dissidents, or to track people that have been chipped and or already chipped via organic, aka when they took that, and it does have tracking, all right. But there's swaths of them going up all over the place, and they can't build them fast enough. It's just going up, and they're building these huge data centers. Ultimately, what's going to happen is the people that get chipped and stuff like that, they're going to put them into a hive mind and let it be controlled with AI. AI is going to be inhabited completely by a demonic entity, right? And from then on, they're just going to go down. Who was it? I can't think of the guy's name right now, but when he was talking, he got an insider from the Pentagon when they said that they knew that about 2 billion people were going to die from it, but the other ones that survive would go on and they'd somehow be compatible with aliens, some sort of possession or control or something like that. All right, and if you put the whole thing together, what aliens actually are and stuff like that, then you get what I'm saying with demonic possession. They're literally going to be taken over, right? These people completely. There's barriers and walls that we have. You can go around this by getting into things you're not supposed to, DMTs and other stuff like that, right? Hallucinogens, and it opens you up to the other side, all right, which is what can happen. But there's a barrier that God's built in where there's difficulty. You have to willingly allow it to happen or whatever else. In most cases, for demonic possession, they are trying to open this up so it can just happen with everybody who's done it, right? So, anyways, they're building them fast, and that just tells me they're getting closer and closer to the end game, right? I don't think that any of these people are doing something where it's by itself. I think it's totally being compartmentalized, and each player is doing their part, and then at the end it's all gonna come together. Whether it's Elon Musk's satellites in space, they're gonna give the internet access they're gonna need for worldwide control in that situation, or Mark Zuckerberg building these meta centers and stuff like that are going up all over the place, which are digital centers where they can control this sort of stuff, right? It's literally looking like Terminator. Meanwhile, China and stuff. My buddy Plassard from the Army sent me a video the other day, and it was a guy who was showing China's drones and other things like that. It's crazy. They got ones that can go through the woods now, through the forest, up over rocks and everything like that. I mean, these things can be used as spotters. They can put sniper guns on them, I'm sure, but They could be used as spotters and everything. Like, it's going to make it so difficult to hide or get away, right? During the tribulation. And like God said, you know, if he didn't cut it short, no flesh should be left alive. All right, people are going to be dropping dead so fast, it's crazy. And it hasn't gone away, you know. And I'm not trying to bring doom and gloom or anything like that. I'm really happy with what had happened. And I've always said before, you know, whenever something good happens or if somebody's doing something right, you might not follow them, right? I always tell you guys, don't follow anybody, follow God, including me. Don't follow me, follow God, right? Let him be your source, right? But if somebody's doing something good, right? Commend it, right? That's a good thing, especially if they're stopping sex trafficking and all this other stuff like that. There's a huge window right now, and it's awesome what's happened. Do I think that Trump was picked for this, all right, or if he actually won? I personally think that he actually won this one. The first one, I wasn't so sure, and I had heard some stuff. Does he know that he's picked? Maybe, maybe not. All right, they may allow it to have happened. They may have wanted him to get in thinking, oh, he's not a politician. He's going to screw the whole thing up. He's going to look like a fool. It'll make us look even better. We'll bring Barack Obama back in or something along those lines, right? Instead, he brings some common sense. Everybody loves him, and they end up looking like bigger fools, right? The Democratic Party, Democratic Socialist Party, and stuff like that, right? But this time, do I think it was an accident or that he was put in? Absolutely not. And that gets into the assassination attempt. All right. The kid that was on the roof didn't make the shot, not at Trump anyways. And to know that it was real, the people that were shot and the guy that died and stuff like that behind him, those were all real people in the stadium and everything like that. It actually happened. To make a shot from as far as that tree line, it wasn't from the roof. It was back by the water tower, right when he turns his head. Right, to make that shot, even as a skilled shooter or me being a shooter and a very good shot, right, at any distance, even if it were 100 yards, when you're playing with differences like that, you know, you're not going to be going for like an ear shot to like fake that or something. It's not going to happen. It's far too risky. And the moment that he turns his head, the shot's taken, right? So was it being staged or anything like that? Even on from redacted, or not redacted, but Lisa Haven's channel, they were showing the snipers on the roof, and when the shots took place, they didn't look to the kid on the roof. They looked over to that tree line by the water tower instantly because they heard it coming from there. That was a long shot to make, and you don't do that if you're faking something like that and putting the person you want in play. Far too risky. It can't happen. Another thing that really sealed the fate for me is, or sealed that as being an absolutely real situation, is when Jonathan Kahn talked about it. And he was referencing the priests that were chosen by God, a high priest back in the times of Israel, what would happen with the blood and how it was dipped on the thumb or whatever, or on the ear, then the thumb, and then they'd raise their right hand in the air. And after Trump was shot, without even knowing what he was doing on the right ear like that, then he grabs and he's got blood on his hand, and he raises his right hand and says, fight, fight, fight. And even though it was like his own American version, it's exactly what the high priest did back in the time. God was like literally anointing him, and it was like what they went through on that spot. When seeing that being done and Trump not even knowing what he's doing is exactly fulfilling it, nope, no way at all do I consider that was a staged event or anything like that. It was really, he really did get in. And even if he wasn't at first, when they made that headshot to kill him and he realized it, all right, there's no way he's going along with it anymore. That's war right there, all right, big time. Okay, another thing, so I totally think it's real. I totally think he got in. I think it's totally God's intervention and plan right now. Do the bad guys have backup plans? Can they move things around and shift ideas? It's a chess game, so yes, absolutely. And just like they're doing right now, right? But do I think that he won this and it was real and it wasn't staged or anything like that, and the American people actually came out and it was the real deal? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. Another thing is these elite scumbags that are fleeing and stuff like that. They know that they're caught red-handed. They don't know what's going to happen, how hard he's going to go after them. The Epstein and P. Diddy stuff, right? These people, they're caught red-handed. They know it. They're all on the list and stuff like that. Another thing is look who, every single one of those people, whether it's Epstein or P. Diddy, every single one that is on that list was voting for Kamala Harris, all right? That says right there she's pure evil. And there's people that call themselves Christians and stuff like that who would vote for Kamala Harris, right? Their heads in the sand, right? There are so many people that call themselves Christians and they're not even saved. They don't even know. And they're the same ones that God speaks of. They would persecute real Christians and think they're doing God's work by killing you, all right? It's the same people that attack people and stuff like that, you know? These people are out there, and unfortunately, they're a huge majority. So, anyways, I just kind of wanted to go over that. Now, should we be cautious? Should we be careful? Yeah, absolutely. I was listening to this chick the other day, and she was off her rocker. I mean, she didn't think she was or anything like that, but had been astral projecting. She was calling remote viewing for a while, all right? Her whole life since she was younger or whatever, anyways. She'd seen the elites, the backdoor stuff, the experiments. She's been into underground base and everything like that. But she is on this idea, you know, that the Galactic Federation out there, which, you know, is a front for the fallen angel and aliens. They do have fleets and stuff like that. They are on other planets out in space, right? They say that they control the whole thing and they're watching Earth, right? And there's always this gay excuse why they don't come in, the good guys supposedly, right? And take care of the problem. There's always an excuse. Oh, they're not ready yet. Oh, they haven't reached their consciousness. Oh, there's too many bad guys, blah, 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 right? All this power that they have and they say that they possess, and they can't come in and stop the humans, which they try to say are relatively small and insignificant, right? But she was talking about it, and these white hats, all right, that are part of this Galactic Federation, the good guys, right, that are going to be put in play. They're fighting back, and basically it lines up with 66,000 indictments. If you guys remember all that nonsense that was coming from QAnon, which was a psyop the whole time. I'd said it the whole time, but like more people realize now, yes, it was a CIA psyop that they were doing the whole time to quell people. Why? Because when they're quelled, you don't go straight for the throat of the political people that need to be pulled out of power right from the start. We wait for years, like we're waiting right now for Biden to get out of their way. He's trying to start World War III and nukes and everything like that, right, with Russia. Instead of going in there and yanking them out, we have the power to do it. But we've been quelled so much. No, we have to play by this rule. We have to do this. So, no, do it peacefully. Oh, there's hope. Look, there's 66,000 indictments. Just stay put, right? And it's all a bunch of nonsense, and it has been the whole time. And this Galactic Federation nonsense, it goes along the same lines. And, you know, the point that I want to make about that is there is something in play, and it will be put into play, all right? And when I was listening to this chick, it made me think of it, right? There is something in play that's going to come about that they want to do, where it makes it look like the good guys are winning, right? This is far more deceptive that way. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, right? But I told you a story. It was about 4 years ago, all right? And it was on a video, and I was talking about the area that we're in right now, and I made a little graph kind of to show you. But ultimately, I was trying to point it out from this episode on Star Trek. This guy named Moriarty, right? He gets sentient, and he's inside the holodeck, the computer program. And they're in there, and this sentient Moriarty has got control of the computer, and he basically designed it so when they think they've ended the program, they walk out and they're on the Enterprise in the Star Trek, and everybody's there and stuff like that. They've never actually left the holodeck. The guys figure it out that they're still in there. They bypass the computer. They end the program, and they seal Moriarty in basically a little supercomputer where he's in a little universe of his own, and they let him go, right? They don't punish him or anything like that, but they kind of like send it out in space. He thinks that he's left, right? Along those same lines, we have this left-right paradigm, right? Where people are like extreme left and the right, and it has been designed to be in a way that the godly principles that are on the right side, right? You don't want the sex trafficking. You're voting for Trump, right? These liberals are total nut jobs, while the liberal lefts are so effing stupid and communistic and terrible and straight up Nazis, right? They're being used. They're going to pay the price and everything like that. But what the good guys on the right don't realize is this is fake. It's totally fake. All right, while you're doing that on the right, let's say you don't want the sex trafficking. Yeah, we should have Christian values and stuff like that. All right, that's good. So let's say God comes back. Are all those people on the right going? That is my point that I want to make. The answer is no. It's a lukewarm right. All right? It's so left extreme, the bad guys, that anything over on the right just a little bit seems like it's extreme in the right direction, but actually it's not. It's just lukewarm. All right? Those same people that would be on the right, they want to have the good values and stuff like that. Are they repenting? Are they walking with God? Are they living a godly lifestyle? Will they give their lives to God? Are they ready to rock and roll? Do they know anything about end times or rapture? What's actually happening? Anything like that, right? The answer is no, they don't. God comes back, boom, they get left behind. But I was a good person. Oh God, I talked about you. I voted for Trump. Blah blah blah. Right? Not realizing that there's a scheme going on. They're still trapped on one side or the other, and the actual qualifications to be with God, get out of here, pass the test and everything like that, they're completely under. And while they're over on the bad side that's left behind, on the bad side, they've created a left and right, and they're on the right side of that so that they think that they're good. It's an illusion, all right? And I talked about it some years back, all right? When I made a little graph and stuff like that. I don't know if I can find it, but if I do, I'll put it up, all right? But I want to point that out, that just because we're going in the right direction doesn't mean this is the full direction that we need to be going, or anything like that, okay? And this is why I say this is a window, all right? While things are slowing down, people are getting a break, and we think we are, while they're getting ready for the next illusion, all right? As the bad guys switch it up or whatever happens. That's why you don't follow anybody. You keep your head on a swivel, keep getting ready for what's going to happen, because it can just as easily switch again, all right? And you never know, all right? So will it be done with Trump? There's qualifications that have to happen for the antichrist, and Trump does not fall into these categories at all right? When people say that they do, I've literally made videos of it. I could start to rattle it off right now. The Antichrist will be the Assyrian. He's mentioned multiple times in the Bible as the Assyrian. He will come from Assyria, all right? He'll be from the right leg of the Roman Empire, all right? This is from the north side of Africa up to the base of Israel, all right? It was the right leg of the Roman Empire. He'll speak in dark sentences. He's been trained in the dark arts, okay? He can speak like the words, yes, we can. It says, thank you, Satan, backwards, all right? He will blaspheme the Most High, just like the Obama speech where he's making fun of the parable, Sermon on the Mount, right? Over and over. He'll have no need for a woman, okay? He will come to ruin. He comes into power, he gets it for 3.5 years, but in the second half, all right, because he gets his power in the first half, people don't realize that, they end up saying, oh, screw this guy can't do anything, like, it's every man for himself, we're going to war against God, right? And they leave him. This is from Daniel, okay? Towards the very end, all right? There's one thing after another that this guy has, all right, that he does. Trump does not fill any of those, but Obama has. But is Obama going to be it? As far as I know, as long as I've been told and seen, even the name that they gave him, Barack Obama, lightning cast down, when Jesus references, I beheld Lucifer as Barack Obama. Lightning cast down, that's what the name means. So they changed it from Barry Soetoro. It's more allegiance to Satan, right? But is it so much that he's a shill and he doesn't even know it? The best shills are the ones that don't even know it when they are. He's been propped up, created. I told you he was created. They genetically engineered him with Pharaoh from Egypt, with some other stuff inside of him. The guy's totally demonically possessed, right? They wouldn't let me even keep the video up on YouTube. They took it down after a couple days, right? It's only up on Rumble, right? There's so many reasons to point to this, okay? My point is, though, will he continue to be the Antichrist, or will somebody else come in? Will he be a front? Will he get taken out? People are like, yeah, we won. There's 1,000 years of goodness. The preterists come back along with everybody else. No, see, look, we're in the 1,000-year reign right now. Everything's good to go, right? And they get deceived, right? Something's going to happen. Could something like that happen? If it does, whoever comes on the scene is going to have to fulfill prophecies very fast, because the Antichrist is required to do these things. It's been written from the future. It says that he will do these things, right? Another thing is, They put so much work into this, all right? And it was planned. It was orchestrated. Obama funded Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and Moderna, created them back in 2010 and 11, all right? Funded them and then had them set on standby. They never produced anything until the time was right. And then anybody who was trying to come up with regular wellness, they were sued and prosecuted. The only ones that could come up with it was those three companies, right? He created it and controlled it, and I told you what it is, all right? I've made the videos about it plenty of times. When they're not getting, if they're about to be taken down, you know, I try to put them up from Rumble, but my point is like, we know what this is, and we're in that time phase right now. It's still growing. It's still accumulating in people. The next phase is to be chipped with that, and it completes the circuit, all right? And they have it. So, I mean, we're right there. We're right at the end. Do I think it's going to go on a long time? No, I don't. It's right there. But he's the one that done it. So will somebody else step in and actually be the Antichrist? If it did, it would catch me by surprise, because as far as I can tell right now, it's too late in the game. There's too much they'd have to do, and he's actually the one that controls it, which is aka the mark of the beast, all right? It's the first it's the first stages of it. They had to build the neural network in people, okay? So he's the only one that could do that. So if somebody else were to come in, they would have to do some quick work fast, and I don't know of anybody that's done that. They've put everything into Barry Soetoro, okay? So what about the Prophecy Watchers clubs and some of these other big guys like Steve Quayle and stuff like that? I love Steve Quayle. I think he's a hero. I do not agree with this 3.5 year stuff. The tribulation is 3.5 years. I think it's whack. And I know that because he has that, he has a fundamental off somewhere. I believe it's in gap theory. All right. It was created, the universe, this universe that we're in right now. All right. This universe that we're in right now, let me just explain something real fast. If you take a Persian rug, I want you to envision this real fast. A Persian rug with intricate design, and it's 1 billion miles by 1 billion miles, all right? And you lay it out. It's bigger than Earth. It's out into outer space. And you rip off 1 inch off the corner, all right? Set the Persian rug to the side, you have that 1 inch piece of the Persian rug. Everything that we see in our total universe that we can't even measure the light years to get to the other side, all right? The intricate design of the galaxies, space and time beyond comprehension is that little rip that just pulled off the Persian rug. The actual size of what is out there, the dimensions behind it that are holding everything up for our universe is so effing massive, your minds can't even comprehend it. It's huge, all right? And it intricately is designed. He separated this for the test that we're in right now 6,000 years ago. He told me he folded out time from the middle, so it kind of it flows forward and backwards, all right, from that point. But that little piece of cloth right now is ripped off while he's staging this. When heaven and earth come back together, that cloth is going to come back, all right? What will that look like? It's hard to envision what exactly it's going to be like, but I'll give you an example. We're looking out into space right now as far as you can look into the far reaches of the universe, right? Beyond anything else. It's black, nothing's out there. All of a sudden, the universe comes back together the way that it's supposed to. Heaven and earth come together just like it says in the Bible, right? The cloth is brought back inside. And just as an example of what I'm talking about, the size of this, all of a sudden, the farthest reaches of the universe, we realize now we're in a little snow globe, all right? And that snow globe is inside of somebody's huge bedroom, and we're looking around in it, and everything's gigantic beyond space and time. The bedpost over there is bigger than our universe, just in height and width. And we're sitting on the dresser. Good God. And this house is on a planet inside of a solar system, inside of another universe, all right? Can you comprehend the size? And that whole snow globe is the universe that we're looking at right now. That's how big that I'm talking about. So when Ellen G. White talks about, oh, I saw heaven coming out of the Pleiades system, right? Or some of these New Agers, right, with the white hats and stuff like that, talking about, oh, yeah, the war between these guys, the Anunnaki and Yahweh, all right, coming from this universe. It's so stupid. They think that, all right? They think that. But I personally know how big this freaking is. So when they say those small little things like Yahweh's actually inside this little snow globe with us, no. He's outside of all that and controls the universe outside of that planet, the bedroom, and is looking in the little snow globe, which is a little rip of fabric from 1 billion mile Persian rug, all right? You see what I'm saying? The size of it. So all these little ideas that people come up with where they think they know this, or like Joseph Smith talking about the planet and everything like that. It's so small. It's so small, and it's so ridiculous. So I mean, these guys don't. They don't even know. They don't even know, right? So I mean, I just want to put that in your mind for a second right now when you hear some of this kooky stuff, right? Don't be deceived by God's outside of all of that, and it's way bigger. He built it, and just like He does with everything. All right. Here's another example. Look at our bodies, right? We have the atomic structure, which are like little mini solar systems. And inside that, you have these multiple different elements. And when you put them together in different combinations, you can make things. And we get to our cells, all right? They look like little miniature cities, right? And they're all working intricately with each other to produce ATP energy for a source that they ship out of these little cities, right? These cells. There's trillions of cells in the human body. But each one of those little cities, that's their whole little world. They're producing energy and they're doing all these little things and they can't even see the big picture. And yet all of them bumped up next to each other has created this body that we're in right now that is intricately designed. And is that even the picture? No, this is just a housing unit for our souls to set in. You see how everything is built on top of each other? So when I tell you this universe is just a little rip from a gigantic Persian rug, it's like pulling a cell off of your skin, all right? It'll live, it'll die, it'll go out of time, and yet it's so much bigger in scope and picture of what is actually going on with God, all right? So when I hear some of these guys, they're in these, we're so sophisticated club, we're the big leagues, right? I had a video sent to me a couple of days ago, and I watched it, and I mean, they have good points, all right, and saying exactly what I'm saying. You know, keep your head on a swivel, keep paying attention, take the win when you can, right? But do these guys see the big picture in all of this? As far as I can tell, no, they're still missing all kinds of things. While we're talking, all right, one of the things that was brought up, and that I've heard lots of times, is Apophis, right? In 2029, that's coming. And Tom Horn had the dream where he woke up and he said Apophis is coming. God told him, right? Do I believe that God told him that? Yes, absolutely, 100%. But what happened? Instantly, as soon as he said that, and now Tom Horn's killed, all right? I totally believe he was murdered, just like his partner, and just like when he talked about what we were doing over in Iraq and what we pulled out of there, the power source, the portal device from the Tower of Babel, all right? They went in there and they took out his partner. They tried to burn his house down. He got out of it, and they eventually got him, but he was told Apophis is coming, right? What is Apophis? Apophis is the destroyer, and it's not the little asteroid. The little asteroid that everybody's talking about is a NASA quick escape. Crap. They know about Apophis. They know about, what is it actually called? The Nibiru system. They know about the Nibiru system. We got to do something quick. Yes, Apophis is coming. So they put it out there at the same time that Tom Horn is saying that. And then these guys that were told, well, yeah, I suppose it could be that asteroid, actually start to fall into the cover-up and track away from what it actually is, the actual freaking solar system destroyer. I've said it before. The moon was not created with authentic battle action. The planet between Jupiter and Mars it used to be a planet. It's now the asteroid belt. All right, the damage, the total crustal displacement in the northern hemisphere of Mars, and the oceans blasted off into outer space. All right, all of that stuff does not come from a 1,000-foot wide asteroid hitting Earth or flying by it that people are like, oh, right? This is not why they're building bunkers all over the place. And Obama back in 2016 having the meeting down in New Zealand where everybody was invited, Stephen Colbert, CNN, Stephen Anderson, Oprah, and all these guys, and they say, oh, no cameras, right? And all of them are like, oh, yes, sir, no problem. Remember, Trump or anybody else says do this or do that, and it's like, no, we're not listening. Everybody kneels to Obama, yet another significant sign that he is the antichrist, right? And they know who he is. And all these people are kneeling. They're all part of the P. Diddy, the antichrist, satanic elite, all right? It's the same guy. So, I mean, it really points to that still. So that's why I say, no, it still seems to be exactly on that same track. And it's not something else that's shifting, all right, in that way. But anyways, he literally tells them down there, hey, stay with me. There's an asteroid system or a planetary system coming through. Earth's going to get bombarded. We'll go into underground bunkers, but the people on the surface, they're going to get blasted, which is the trumpet judgments, all right? Okay? So, is this actually going to happen? Yes, but it's not the little asteroid. That's not what you need to worry about. That's like a little precursor, or maybe something else to say, hey, look over there. It's not why they built the Lucifer telescope, all right, on Mount Ground down in Arizona, right, that the Vatican's watching. It's coming from the southern hemisphere up in an angle, all right? How do I know that this is even real in the first place without just looking at the solar system and seeing that? Back in the 50s, a guy that was working in NASA, some of the group, they got to see it. Whenever I'm reading somebody's mind, or being shown, is, if I'm not going too many deep, if it's just a single person that did it, it's a piece of cake. It's just like a walk in the park. Yes, totally true, right? Did he actually see it? Do they see the system coming in? Did they really say, we believe it's going to be here in 50 years? Yes, that's all real, all right? So I know that that's real. The point is that this thing also, it fluctuates. They can't track it or completely predict it. It'll speed up, it'll slow down, move around. This thing was created and whipped up by God, as far as I'm concerned. Obviously it was anyways, right? But it was meant to be that way, so you can't track it. So they have an idea when they think it's going to be here around 2030, 29, which they're using the Apophis excuse for, but it's actually the Nibiru system. It always has been, all right? You don't worry about a little asteroid, okay? They're building stuff, getting ready to go off planet, everything like that, not from a little asteroid, but from a whole planetary system that's going to swoop through here, right? That lasts about 6 months of time, okay? It speeds up when it comes through and whips back around, all right? From my calculations, from when the two witnesses go up and the seventh trumpet blowing, like I say, I did it back some years ago. Nobody else has ever done it before, so as far as I'm concerned, God just opened my eyes to it, because, I mean, it's been written for 2,000 years, and I've never heard anyone say anything like it before. The only two judgments that have a timetable on them is the fifth trumpet and the sixth trumpet. You put them together, it's a year and a half, all right, to break it down quickly. The seventh trumpet blows, like when the two witnesses go up. They're here in the very first half for 3.5 years, which means you take those two judgments that are right before that trumpet blows, you come back a year and a half. That's the 2-year mark. That means seals 1 through 7 and trumpets 1 through 4 all go in the first 2 years of the tribulation, all right? And within the first half, we've 2 markers, all right? The fourth horseman and the sixth trumpet, that both take out 2 billion people. That's 4 billion people you can set off right there. So all the other stuff, including asteroids hitting and stuff like that, out of 4 billion people on an 8 billion planet, all right, you can start to predict the numbers right there. I say another billion, another 2 billion, which is why I say halfway in the tribulation, 6 billion people are already dead within 3.5 years. The death just starts kicking off like a rocket, okay? So my point is, it goes extremely, extremely fast, right? And people don't know it. So when they say like, oh, we're going to go halfway into it, or it's a mid-tribulation, they have no idea. When Christians are the primary target, when this kicks off, when they've whipped it up enough where Christians are the problem and they want to kill them and get them out of the way, all right? And then 4 billion people are dying, all right? You're not making it past that. That's why the angel in Revelation 14, which, like you say, it doesn't go in chronological order, literally says, blessed are they that die in the Lord from this point on. You don't want to have anything to do with this. It's a blessing to just die and come to heaven, all right? And to escape this, okay? So anyways, back to all this stuff that I'm kind of going over, all right? What about redshift, all right? I had that dream. It felt more like a vision, all right? Where the FBI shut down everything and they switched it over to redshift and they did a steal. I was thinking about that yesterday, and the point is that I have looked at it like they're shifting from red and going back over to blue so that these bad guys can get in play. That might not necessarily be how it goes. Red shift may be, they've shifted. It's a two-party paradigm, right, where the Democrats have been playing the bad guys, Republicans are the good guys, at least for a while, all right? If they switch that and start to sneak some stuff in, like Moriarty, right, where it seems like it's good values, but they're like, yeah, but we don't really need God in this, and yeah, we should be America first, but do we really need to practice? We got to stop sending money overseas to these other countries like Israel, right? What do they have anything to do with? Now we are pulled away from that. Now we're not protecting Israel, right? Which is exactly what happens at the Gog and Magog attack happens, which is before the tribulation starts and around the time of the rapture, right? Because they need 7 years to burn it. Now we're not protecting them, so now it's lining up, and yet we're supposedly on a good path, which most Americans would be like, yeah, it's a great idea. How many of them right now don't want us to be in that foreign stuff? While the anti-Semitism rhetoric just keeps picking up more and more. They're moving towards that. So is this red shift that I dream about actually them shifting the bad guys over to the red side and people falling for it? Very well could be. This is why I say keep your head on a swivel, always be paying attention, don't follow anybody, keep prepping, but use this window and this time right now to be ready, because if we go into a little bit for heartaches, for our very purpose. People are praying all the time, oh, my loved one to be saved. We'll go talk to him. I'm too afraid. Okay, fine. God will do it his way. Okay, we're bringing in hell on earth for a little bit. You guys are going to have to go through it. Stay strong. I'll protect you. But these guys are now going to come to you because they're scared out of their mind, all right? All right? Use that window to help people, to lead people to God. So, anyways, there's a little something I want to go over on this whole thing. It's kind of built up a little bit, so I'm trying to cover a bunch of different topics at once. People got their heads in the clouds from every single direction. I'm trying to keep this straight down the road, all right, the best that I can. But let me think if there's anything else I want to say. There is one more thing. October 5th, something happened, and I moved out of my place. I'm homeless again, but I have a semi-truck that I can stay in, but I don't have a place. I believe it was God intervention, and I think he was setting it up the whole time. A few months before that, I tried to get a gym membership in that town, and right before I walked in, some lady cut in front of me. I just started blabbing for like 20-something minutes and wouldn't stop. And nobody else is in there. I'm in a dinky little town. I'm like, I just trying to start a gym membership here. And it didn't happen. I got so pissed that I walked out, right? And I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, God, are you preventing me from doing that because you got something else planned? So I was already kind of paying attention to it, and stuff just kept getting worse and worse at my house until finally it was up and done, and I got out. And this is the first time, starting before winter, because I've always prayed, God, keep me out of winter, right? I'll go through the other seasons, but just keep me out of winter. This is the first time where I'm going into it, and right before winter starts, now I'm pulled from the house. Like, it's like the last test. I have to go through winter, all right? Homeless. And, I've thought about it. This is also the first time where I feel really at peace about it. My point is that if he's doing this, if he's keeping me mobile like this, I don't know how big this window is. He might be doing it for another reason, but he also might just be keeping me ready. I'm a target, all right? I'm a target, all right? They don't blacklist me, block me, all right? I've never seen heat like this. I have never put out one video, not even encouraging ones to you guys, where I'm not attacked ruthlessly enough. I'm not talking about like, oh, I disagree with this or that. Yeah, that's fine, go ahead. I'm not going to bother you in the comments, all right? Where I'm ruthlessly attacked enough where these people have to be blocked and banned, right? Never been a video where it doesn't happen. I am satanically attacked every single time under every single time. There is no circumstance where it hasn't changed, right? To the pinnacle that I got, which was one video that I did, and it was an encouragement video. Over 5,000 people had to be blocked and removed from this YouTube channel. I've never seen anything like it anywhere. I am unbelievably attacked and hated, right, by the force of darkness. They don't want me to talk. If you have any discernment at all, that should be everything that you need to know. That, yes, you can trust me to listen to me, right? Satan would not be attacking me like that otherwise. I've never heard of anything like that. Over 5,000 people. That's insanity, all right? But it has been like that the entire time that I've talked, all right? So I'm telling you right now, like, everything I say that I do, there's nothing. I mean, what's my total goal that I do, right? Every single time, don't follow men, go to God, repent. Ask for forgiveness, all right? Continue to walk with him. When you stumble, get back up, ask for forgiveness again, and try to shed off those sins and walk with him. He told me in 2021, he counts that as past if you're in the fight. And if you continue in the fight, those things will eventually burn off. You won't have them in your life as you grow stronger and stronger in your walk with God, all right? And that's what I want for you guys, so that you get to a point that if everything goes down, you don't need to hear him anymore. You just go straight to God, which is what I want everybody to do. Now, me just saying that right now, how could you ever, in your right minds, as I'm pointing you towards God and away from men, to have that relationship and to pick up the Bible and read it, how could you ever think that I'm the bad guy, right? And yet, tons of people that call themselves Christians call me the bad guy all the time, right? These people don't even know that they're not saved, all right? And they have a demonic spirit that's working for them, all right? There's another thing I want to put out real fast. I have never yet, anyways, found somebody that was deliberately saying that Trump is evil, all right, or Alex Jones too, that I haven't, that they were bad news, they were from Satan or something like that. I have not yet found one where they're just saying that, where they don't turn out to be under a demonic influence, all right? I want to give that warning because so many people will write something in the comments and you need to watch out for Trump. You need to stop following blah, 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 and all this other stuff like that. Like I've told somebody to follow anything. But they're going after it. Their spirit, right, is going after it. I'm telling you right now, watch out for those people because every single time, without fail so far, I end up finding it later or seeing something or it pops up or God shows me and they're under a demonic influence, okay? Every single time. And don't get me wrong. Each one says, oh, I heard from the Holy Spirit or God told me. while they're under the demonic spirit. Just a little heads up, all right? So, all right, hopefully that'll send them back to the drawing boards in the comment section, okay? Because we're like, oh crap, we have to figure another way to deceive, which is all they're doing. It never stops. It never stops. It's just like what Paul said. I'm going to leave and the wolves are going to come in. I've said it over and over again. I mean, they do it right now. Right now, as soon as the video goes up, the wolves will hit that, and they're doing everything they can. And I've seen what happens, all right? I've seen it. It's terrible. I've been at work, just slammed. My phone will buzz me for a second. I'll see it come. I'm like, yeah, no, I better correct this. Hey, I need you over here right now. Go back over there. By the time I get back to deal with the comment section, a wolf is coming, grab that chick or that person, and they're gone forever, all right? They're gone forever. They're not coming back. They're going to hell. And that person just pulled them away as they slip back into the ether. And it drives me nuts, right? It's like, should I even have comments up? It causes more trouble than good sometimes, you know? And this is the world we're in. And of course, people don't give a shit, right? And I'm thinking, dude, that was somebody's daughter or family member, and they're gonna burn in hell now forever. And it's like, for God's sake, stop listening to these false teachers, these people. The first one that pops that says something good, like you don't have to ask for forgiveness, or it's once saved, always saved. For crying out loud. Get your head on straight, all right, and get ready, all right? Be ready at all times. And like I said, keep prepping, keep getting ready right now. Use the window as an opportunity where the heat's not on you. Why people are letting down their garden prices come down? Good. Use that to get more crap and be ready. Walk with God. Get your health in order, because you never know what's going to happen, all right? That's all I want to say on this. I think it's enough things covered, and it's kind of like a shotgun blast of a bunch of different things, because there's information coming from all over the place. But like I say, anyways, hopefully this helps, or it gives you a little insight or something. Maybe it hit on a question that you were curious about, or maybe it makes you think, oh yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I can trust this, or maybe I can look at this in another way, all right? So if it helps, give glory to God, all right? I'll talk to you later. Kitchen is Okay, bye.